Hi, most of you have seen the movie Titanic and how the British ship sank and how some of the passengers managed to come out of it and a large number of them had to go down with the ship. Let us see if we could do some kind of a data analysis based on a sample data of Titanic available with us. So, here is the data of uh, passengers that sailed on Titanic. We have passenger ID, then we have how many survived. Please mark it is written here 0 and 1. 1 stand for survived and 0 stand for did not survive. And then we have the name and sex, male or female, and their age and the amount they paid for the ticket, and they boarded from which place and the class in which they traveled. So we have a sample data like this of about 891 to be precise. It's a sample data, not complete. And let me say I have cured it a bit. So we will talk about curing of data a little later. But here we are just trying to see how we are going to analyze this data. Okay. So analysis means what kind of analysis do you want to do? We would like to know, since it is given by males and females and age, probably we would like to know how many males survived and how many females survived. Probably we would like to know, did the older people survive or did the younger people survive, and in how many percentages. Okay. And we may also like to know, depending upon the class in which they had traveled, did more people survive from first class or second class or third class? Like, okay, let's move on to the analysis sheet. Here is the sheet. Analysis of passengers survived in Titanic, right? The first one analysis is made here by gender, second one is by class, and third one is by age. As you could pretty much see that we have male and female over here, survived, did not survive, and total, right? And similarly for class 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And then by age we have made three groupings of the age, that is below 8 the children, and between 8 and 60, okay, we could call them adult, and age above 60 we could call them senior citizen, right? So this looks good, right? So this is the analysis which has been already done. Okay. We are going to see how it has been done, right? It's very easy. It has been done by using, as we can go and see here, by using a formula count ifs. Okay, so this is the formula which is used. Let me just copy it and paste it here. Okay, so the formula is count ifs. And what is this? It is written sex, comma, male, comma, survived, comma, 1. All right. So in the table, the column headings are there. One is sex, other one is class, and other one is age. Okay, because we want to analyze by these three things. One column name is sex, where we have male, female. Other one is class, where we have class 1, class 2, class 3, and the third one is by age, where we have the age, right? So I have named all the columns. I have named all the columns by their respective column headings. As you can see, click on formulas and go to name manager, and we can see here all the columns have been named by their column headings like age, boarded from, class, fare, name, passenger ID, and so on. How to name them quickly? By using create from selection. I'm not going to cover now. For those of you who have not watched naming of cells video, that's my one of the earlier videos. Please go and see that video. Okay, here we'll assume that all these names, all these column headings have been named. Okay, all these columns have been named by the respective column headings. Okay, why? Because it becomes much easier to understand the formula. For example, this is COUNTIFS formula. Okay, COUNTIFS formula, if we go here, okay, it's pretty easy. If you go here, it says criteria range 1. That means which criteria you're going to apply where? We are going to apply on the column sex, right? And then comma, and then it says criteria 1. What is the criteria? We are looking for males, okay? And next criteria, what is the next criteria range? That is survived. In that, what are we looking for? We are looking for value 1. Why? That is criteria 2 is 1. What is the meaning of 1? It means he has survived. That's all that is there. Okay. So, we are counting all the rows where the sex is male and where survived value is 1. That's all. And we get the answer. If we enter here, we get the answer 109. That's all. It's pretty much simple and it's used in the same way. Let me see here. I'll copy that also for you and you'll find it pretty much similar. Let me put it here. Again, here it is COUNTIFS. The first, okay, let me go here. Again, it is COUNTIFS. The first criteria range 1 is survived column, and then the criteria for that is 1. That means the person should have survived. 1 is survived, and the second criteria range is class, and the criteria is 1 because we are looking for it for class 1. That's all, right? So let me take a look at the third one also. Slightly different over here. For those of you who could be slightly out of touch with this, right? So COUNTIFS, again survived is 1. That means the first criteria range is survived column and then its value criteria is 1, right? And the second criteria range is age, and the age it is marked, please notice, in double quote, less than 8, right? So that way we will be able to get to see this, how many survived whose age was below 8, right? So that like this we have got 34, right? Now if we could write here less than 8, we could pretty much write here greater than 60 for this. It's nothing other than how we wrote earlier, except for the fact that instead of less than 8, we are going to write greater than or equal to 60, right? All right. That makes a slight difference. That makes a slight difference with this. Let me copy that also for you. I'll just copy this. And I'm going to paste it over this. Sorry. Copying it and I'll paste it over this. Right. So what is the difference we are seeing here? Criteria range 1 is survived and its criteria is 1, so value should be 1, and the second criteria is age, it should be greater than or equal to 8, and third criteria we put again age, that means the age has to be greater than or equal to 8, and again we are putting the third criteria where age has to be less than 60. So that will cover the range between 8 and 60. That's it. So once we have got it, it's pretty much similar. And what is this did not survive? Did not survive, all these three formulas would work exactly same, except for a small change we have to make, okay, where we have put this criteria range as survived, where we have put this criteria range as survived and value 1. Instead of 1, we have just make it 0. That's it. So instead of 1, you make it 0 and you'll get people who did not survive. All other formulas remain same. As far as females are concerned, okay, also the formula would be same, whereas we would just put criteria range 1 as sex, and instead of male we will write female, and balance is same. So here it is did not survive, so it is survived comma 0. That's it. So it's pretty much simple. In fact, if you just make one formula, you could just drag it and make small changes, and likewise you could do it for all. And then that remains is just to add up these two, so we get total males that survive, total male that were present and total females that were present, right? And then we could get percentage survived. Okay, how do we get percentage survived? We are looking at males percentage survived, so it is C4 by C6, because C4 is the males that survived 109 and C6 is the total number of males, so the percentage of males survived. Likewise, you would get it all females. uh, Sorry, uh, look here. All right, we want to know the percentage of females survived, so it is going to be D4 by D6. Likewise, 233 by 314. Likewise, we have got all the males and females survived, right? It's pretty nice, right? So this is how we have managed to analyze the data by gender, and then by class, and then by age. But if you look at the numbers, let us take a close look. Okay, how many males survived? Total males were 577, out of which 109 survived, and unfortunately a large number could not survive. Let us look at females, right? As we find here, out of total 314, I think 233 is quite a good percentage, as it is given below here. 74% of the females survived. Why is that? It makes sense. Probably they would have allowed the females to escape first, so they would have gone up to the upper decks and probably jumped into the boats and out, and more females would have survived. Yes, so it makes sense like that. But if you take a look, similarly you could take a look at the class also. If you see the percentage survived, you can see class 1, 62% people survived, class 2, 47 survived, class 3, 24% only could survive. Why is lesser percentage in class 3? Probably class 1 must have been on the closer to upper deck, so people could escape from there, and there was less rush also. Yes, uh, so it was easier for them. And likewise in class 3, it could have been in the little lower decks and more people, and therefore struggle of everyone trying to come out, and therefore as a result the survival rate was less. Look at this also, it makes sense. The children below 8, 68% survived. Between 8 and 60, that is the normal, only 36% survived. And why did the senior people survive less, only 26%? Because probably they had difficulty in climbing up. Okay, some of them could not walk or run, and they needed some help, someone to hold their hands and so on. So the people above age, only 26% could survive, right? So I have taken almost 5 minutes to explain what meaning it makes, but it would be much easy if we plot a chart, because a picture speaks thousand words. Let's try to do it for one simple one. So I am just selecting this, right, and insert, and we will say charts. So we'll take a look at recommended charts. So this is the recommended chart. I don't like it, so I'm going to take this, right, and just click here, right? So let me just cut it and move on a new sheet and paste it here. All right, so The legend says here blue is males and the other color is females, right? And the first one is survived, second one is did not survive, right? Okay, so survived, if you see, okay, lesser males survived and more females survived. You could make out very clearly, right? And did not survive, you can see likewise a large number, almost 480 plus, could not survive, males, right? And only about 80 or 90 females could not survive. Okay, I think total should not have been chosen, but okay, it doesn't make sense to choose total for charts. I did it by mistake, right? We need to choose only that, right? Shall we try and do it for one more? All right, to get those of you who are familiar with charts will know we have got a common heading over here. So what I'll do is I'll just copy these two, okay, and paste it here, right? So now we could choose only these class wise, survived and did not survive. And let's move on to insert and recommended charts, right? And we got a chart over here which looks good, and I'll just click, right? And I'm going to cut it and move on to a new sheet and paste it. Okay, so here also same color, blue is survived, the other color is did not survive, and this is class 1 and this is class 2 and this is class 3. As the picture explains it pretty clear, in the class 3 a large number could not survive, as to only this many could survive, correct? In class 2 it was more or less same number, it is midway, right? But in class 1 more number of people survived, okay, and lesser could not survive. You can beautify these charts. For that you could see another video. For those of you who do not know how to work with charts, it's pretty simple. You could watch another video for how to chart your data. So this is how we have made a preliminary and pretty simple analysis, yes, of the data which we got to see in this table of Titanic, right? You may like to attempt doing this, unlike how we did by using COUNTIFS. I think it's pretty simple. You could also do it by using pivot tables, okay? Try to practice it. Pivot tables is very easy to do, and pivot table, you could give you chart directly, you could plot chart directly. All these three charts could be directly done by using pivot tables, for those of you who are not very comfortable with using COUNTIFS formula. That's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel and hit the bell to get notifications, and share it with your friends if you find it useful.